Are you thinking about buying or building a new home right now? There's major changes happening with HST that could save buyers a lot of money, but there's also a lot of confusion around how it actually works. So I'm going to break this down in very simple terms so both buyers and builders understand exactly what's going on. So what's the big announcement? Right now, the government is proposing a new program that would remove the full 13% HST on many new homes. We're just going to go to the next slide here. So in simple terms, that means that buyers could save up to about $130,000 depending on the price of the home. It's a big deal and is meant to take new home construction to another level. Obviously, it's been suffering for the last couple of years in the region. So this program is meant to incentivize buyers by saving them some money and getting more people back into the new home market. The most important rule, the biggest thing to understand is that this is based on when you sign the deal, not when you close on the deal. So if a buyer signs an agreement during the qualifying window, they're expected to be eligible for the program, even if the home is built later on. That's a key point that both buyers and builders need to understand. And who qualifies? So this is another major change from what was previously launched in the last few years. So before, these types of rebates were mostly limited to first-time buyers. And now it's expected to apply to almost everybody looking to buy a new build. That includes buyers upgrading a home, investors looking at a rental property, and first-time buyers as well. As long as the property is used primarily as a primary residence or is a rental property, it should qualify. So is this actually in effect yet? This is where things get a little bit confusing and where some of the conversations I've had really pour in. A lot of people are asking if they could take advantage of this or not. They heard it's in effect, it's not. So to kind of clear things up a bit, the program has been announced, but it's not fully passed into law yet. So however, the government has already set the rules they intend to use. And one of the biggest ones is timing. They said that this program is expected to apply to agreements signed starting April 1st, 2026. So even though it's not fully finalized, the market is already starting to move based on these rules. And so as long as your agreement is signed by later than April 1st, 2026, you should be able to qualify according to what's been released. So a couple examples, a simple example here to kind of break things down under the $1 million mark. Let's say a buyer is purchasing a new home for $800,000. Normally, they would pay 13% HST on top of that. That's over $100,000 in tax. Under the new program, that tax is expected to be removed. So instead of paying that extra amount, the buyer saves it. Example number two, the $1 million to $1.5 million range. Let's say a home is 1.2 million. The rebate is capped at $130,000. So even though the tax would be higher, the buyer still gets the full maximum savings capped out at the $130,000 mark. And then example number three, the higher end homes. Now let's say the home is $1.7 million. The savings starts to decrease as the price goes up. So instead of getting the full $130,000, the rebate generally reduces in those situations. So how does this work, or how this works at closing? So in most cases, buyers won't actually pay the tax and wait to get it back. Typically, the builder applies the rebate up front at closing, so the buyer just pays that reduced amount. However, because this program is not fully finalized yet, some builders may choose not to apply that credit right away. In those cases, the builder may have to pay the HST and apply to get the refund back from the government. So this is something that still needs to be worked out and clearly understood moving forward. So we're still working out the details there. An important warning, and a very important one. A lot of people are asking if they can just cancel their old deal. Maybe something is pending. Maybe construction hasn't started yet, so they can maybe work with the builder to try and finagle some of the dates. The answer is no. It's not. You're not eligible to do that. The government has strict rules in place, and they'll likely look at the original agreement date. So trying to reset the clock like that can actually disqualify the buyer and create bigger issues. What builders should expect. So builders will likely start adjusting how they structure their pricing. So instead of including HST in the price, you may actually start seeing the base price plus HST with the rebate applied separately. And contracts are going to have to become more important than ever, especially in this, because a lot of things are going to have to change especially with the wording around HST and eligibility. What buyers should expect: buyers need to understand two things. First, timing is everything. The date you sign the offer is the thing that matters. Second, is this is still evolving. So not every builder will handle this the same way right now. And that's because not everybody's on the same playing field. Not everybody understands exactly how this is being handled. So you need to be clear on how specific your deal is structured moving forward, and the wording in your offer. And then the reality, this is still, like I mentioned, is evolving. So there's still work being done behind scenes. The entire program is still in progress, or in process. This is still in progress. The laws still need to be fully passed by both provincial and federal levels. So the details might still change moving forward. How builders handle it may change, and how lenders and lawyers interpret it may also evolve. So this is not something that should be assumed or taken at face value as of yet without proper guidance. So just so everybody's clear, this is my interpretation of the information being available to us, being presented to us. It's not legal or financial advice. Before making any decisions, you should speak with your lawyer, your accountant, your tax specialist, and your mortgage specialist to fully understand how this applies to you and your situation. If you're thinking about buying a new build, or if you're a builder trying to navigate through these new changes, this is the majority of people right now. So just give us a call. We're happy to walk you through this process, happy to work with you on these new details. And if you have questions about how this works, just reach out, feel free, and we're happy to connect anytime. So thank you so much. Have an amazing day.